It started with a blessing, and that blessing was I had cancer, and I didn't know it, of course, at the time, and it was a throat cancer. And first blessing came along was the doctor says something doesn't seem quite right. Did a full body scan, and then they found there was another cancer hidden down in my kidney. And the doc said, wow, if you hadn't come in here, you'd have come in here a year down the road and had some pain in the back, and I'd have told you had maybe 5-6 months. And that's it, because it wouldn't have had any symptoms. First blessing was to get the cancer. And that was 16 years ago. So I was working in the fire department, and they couldn't operate on the kidney until they addressed the throat, because that one would have got me. So it was like a lot of chemo, and they had to do it for a longer period of time to keep it from growing in the kidney until they got the throat thing done. So they did the surgery on the throat, then they burned it out with the radiation. Every time I'd go in for the radiation, it'd get weaker and weaker. And I didn't have a faith at that point in time. And I always knew, you got to do it yourself, buck up, you can do it, and blah, blah, blah. This one time I was towards the end of the whole treatment regime for the throat, and my heart started hypersalivating, and my mouth just started filling up with saliva. I'm trying to spit it out, and I got mess everywhere, but it was going faster than I could do it, and I couldn't breathe, and I couldn't breathe. And then the panic started, and I couldn't breathe, I couldn't spit it out, I couldn't get a breath. And that's when I knew right then, you're gonna die. Because I couldn't yell, I couldn't get the guy to come in, I couldn't move anything. And that's when I figured that was gonna be the end. And I'm going, God, I'm dying. And I don't tell this to a whole lot. I guess now I'm telling it to a lot of people, but can't explain it. The saliva just went away. And man, I went, and I got that breath. And with that breath, I felt held. I knew I was okay. And that's when I knew he is real. I knew he was real. Nobody had to tell me. And I thought I had myself a relationship, but I wanted Jesus as my Savior. I wasn't ready to have somebody be my Lord. And so of course, my pride and self-will, started developing a relationship, but I still didn't have that Lord part down. And, what was it, 2 years ago, 2 years ago, had a cough. went into the doc and said, oh, you got lung cancer. I'm going, you gotta be kidding me, I don't smoke. Fire service. And, but this time when I was going through it, I had faith, and I'm going, okay, God, I don't know how come, and it's not what I want, but I did learn a whole lot, and I wasn't afraid. This time I wasn't afraid, because I knew I was held. Every now and then when I'd get scared, I knew I was held. So they took out the lung, and they take out the lung, and they go, we found another one. Here's a cancer up on your temple. That's cancer number 4. So they did the surgery, cut it out, do the whole chemo and surgery and blah, blah, blah. And so that was 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago. And then went in this last summer, got a knee replacement, and they did a scan, and something ain't right in the blood work. And sure enough, I think cancer number 5, and it's in the liver. Now I know that each one of these things brought me to a place where I realized I couldn't do this on my own. I should be dead. So he's got something in store for me. I don't know what it is. I don't know how I'm supposed to do it. But I figure there's all these blessings. And I guess this is the bottom line. When you're at your absolute weakest is when he's the absolute strongest. And that feeling, that sense of safety, love, being held, is worth whatever the test is. Without a test, there ain't going to be a testimony. The end.